Hey tubers and gamers, he's back and it's been another month. Not in the garden today. It is nice enough to be in the garden, but thought I'd be back in the lounge while it's not too stifling inside at the moment. The temperature in the UK coming down slightly. As always, a good mix to show people. I've got some vinyl of a month. Got some additional music bits to show as well, just for those who's interested. And some games, a few retro games, not much, mostly modern PS4 stuff really, but there's some other interesting bits before then anyway. First of all, I might as well get off my chest, with the new AES Plus, I had pre-ordered that with 3 games from the Play On, plus another 3 games from Amazon. I understand that Argos is actually getting the console in stock too, so it's definitely not going to be a hard to obtain console, and I imagine that a lot of people will buy them, and just because it's an AES, that's a cheap way of having one, and maybe get an Evercart or just a few games and then eventually move it on, because it's like there are much easier ways of playing the games without necessarily sacrificing the space. And so I've cancelled my orders for those because I already got an original AES being modded with the Evercart, and also lots of other ways of playing the games. I've got a proper SNK arcade stick with all the games on, never mind all the other ways of playing them, as well as physical copies of the games on disc, PS1, PS2, digital versions on the Switch. So, and looking at the games, out of all the SNK games, there would have been about 21 games I would have liked to have had AES from if I were going down that rabbit hole, and it is a rabbit hole. But part of me was thinking, one, I don't have the physical space to store these games because they're going to be big. 21 games, what's that? 2 meters of shelf space? I do not have that spare. And realistically, they would be just on the shelf, because I got easy other ways of playing the games, and even my AES, my original with the Evercart, I rarely touch it, to be honest. I'd rather use the arcade stick. So so I decided to not go down that rabbit hole. It's a good deal for what it is. You get a console and games which are fair price. It's just that if I was to get those 21 games, assuming that they actually release the 21 games, which they probably won't, because I imagine it's going to be a success in the year 1, and they'll bring out some more games, but I reckon the sales will dwindle and nosedive quite quickly as people come to the same realisation I have, that there are easier ways of playing these games, and that don't take up the space really. And some people may be getting on to think, oh, these games will be collectible and have a resale value. Yeah, possibly, but I don't think they're going to be in the same value as original AES or MVS games. I don't think they'll ever get anywhere near those prices. Some of the exclusives will be collectible, of course. Shot Troopers, I think the first one or second one was never released on AES, so by all means that would be a collectible one for people. But most people, myself included, I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to be a good boy, save myself the money, and with the 21 games, even if they did release those, that would have been about £2 grand. Even with the 6 games and the console, that's about £600 I've saved. And I'm just trying to be good really. I've gone through my collection. I say my collection, I've just started going through a small part of my collection, like my Switch and my 3DS games, and basically just shaved off bits I've got no love affair for, and I've shaved those games off, sold them, sold most of them, half of them on Vinted and eBay, and got made about over £1,000 worth of sales, which is good. So that's money on as money towards bills, and I have not noticed those games missing out of my collection, so I think when you've got a large collection, it's quite easy to actually go through it and shave bits off, really. And I think that's, you know, I think that's a good thing to do. It's quite refreshing. I mean, I haven't sold games up until this year for about a few years, because I used to do it on eBay, but it just became a pain in the arse. But nowadays it's so much easier with the AI tools available, and with multiple couriers out there that track everything for you, and the buyer pays the shipping, and so it's so much easier to sell games directly, and I wouldn't trade them into CX or because you don't get your money back, and I wouldn't individual game shops, I respect them and I would support them by buying stuff, but I personally don't sell stuff to those game shops because they got to make a profit, fair enough, but it's your game. You should be making a profit if you're able to, and if you're able to sell the stuff, why not? You know, it's us who invested in those games and so forth, so we should make a profit on those if you can, if you want to, if you've got the patience, and that's what I've done really. So basically I've been a good boy, as my wife would say, and I've not gone down the rabbit hole of AES collecting. I did go down another rabbit hole years back, and that's to do with music, which I'll talk about in a minute. First of all, while we're still on music, vinyl of the month. What have we got today to show? It's what have I got in this Tower Records bag, which incidentally arrived today. A few quid from AliExpress, so that's quite a good buy. Original ones from Tower Records in the States, people want silly money for, but anyway, I used to love Tower Records when I was in London. Anyway, what have I got? Yes, big fan of Natalie Merchant and 10,000 Maniacs. A couple of years back this got released on vinyl. It was never before released on vinyl, it was only CD and tape cassette and Laserdisc. Yeah, so to get this, yeah, I was really pleased to have that, more than anything else really, so I'm so pleased to have that. Big fan, really good album if you like the music, of course. So yeah, that's what I got. Before we move into games, I was going to talk about music. Tetley was showing a mini disc player recently obtained, and I've got a mini disc player, a separate for my Sony systems. I've got a Sony set of separates, all from the late 90s, early noughties. The newest bit on the separates is the vinyl record player. To be honest, all the rest are older. So I've got a 5 CDs changer, a really good tape deck that's had all its caps changed, and also I've got a separate mini disc player. Quite easy. They're not too expensive to buy, to be fairly honest, and even if in terms of maintenance, sometimes the little rubber bands may go, but they're not impossible to get to. But also mini disc players. Now you can, there's a hell of a lot of them out there, and there's many out there. I've gone for Sony, and I've gone for this one here because it's got most of the features that you would want, recordability, but also it takes a AA battery, which is nice. So it's future-proof with power use. You can get ones that take the old gum stick batteries, and you can buy new gum stick batteries at the moment, but whether or not they'll still be available to buy in the future, who knows. Mini disc, this one, I've got a proper Sony case with this. Now you may say that's grey and it's fabric. Well, it wasn't. It was originally coated in like this plastic faux leather material, but it's aged, it just disintegrated. You know, the faux leather plastics or a lot of materials, they don't last many decades. So it was peeling in the way, so I just stuck it in the washing machine, got rid of all of it, and it's better just as a fabric case, and it works. So it's nice and neat. So that's good. Also got some blank recordable mini discs, which I'm just going to keep as they are in the collection because I don't really record on my mini disc. There's other ways of playing it if you're going to go down a digital route. But I do own a modest collection of original mini disc albums. Now, mini disc collecting is not for the faint of heart. A lot of people who collect mini disc are ones that are going for the, they're either artists, fans of a particular artist, and so they've got to get everything for those artists. But some people are collecting mini discs as well, and as a result, it's pushed up the price of them. Now, when the mini disc came out, not every record label adopted it. The Sony did, and Polydor Records, I think, and a few other did, but many did not. So you can't get the Beatles, I don't think. I don't think you can get the Beatles or anything like that on mini disc. But you can get a lot of other big artists, and some of them, like Billy Joel and Madonna. Those mini disc albums can be really expensive. You can easily pay about £150 to £300 for a mini disc album for those artists. I do have a few big hitters here to show you guys, which I've managed to get for very good deals on Vinted of all places. But let's talk about what I've got. So, being the 10,000 Maniacs album, I do have Our Time in Eden. I mean, incidentally, if people are interested, these little plastic cases, they're just little Famicom protection boxes. So that's why I put them in there. And the actual mini disc cases themselves, they really are nice. If you do get one and they've got a few cracks in them, you can actually buy replacements quite reasonably priced from AliExpress. You can. I bought a bundle of 5 for about £20. Used them to replace some of the crack cases I had, and then resold my crack cases on eBay for 15 quid. That's not bad, is it? Because some people are saying crack cases for big money on eBay, believe it or not, because I don't think people realise you can actually get them from AliExpress, new ones. But anyway, what else we got? Now this album is a super rare album. It's 10,000 Maniacs MTV Unplugged. I had the vinyl. I've got the actual, it's got the original mini disc. Yeah, I got that from America. That was about £100. If I buy this complete from America, you'll be looking at about £250 to £300, and I'm not going to pay that much for this album, even though I do love it. What I've done is, I've took a case, I bought a cheaper tape cassette version of the album, and I was able to use that inlay as the front inlay for the mini disc, and I used my CD copy and the tape cassette ends to scan and digitally pack together and print off my own sleeve of artwork on the back. So for a naive, I mean, look at that, it's got a barcode and everything. For those who are naive and don't realise, you may think, oh, that's all complete, that's the original one, that's quite good. But it's an original disc, but the rest of it is just reproduction, so that's what I've done with that one, because I weren't going to pay £300 for that that mini disc. Alright, next one I've got here, this goes for about £150 easily on eBay. I managed to get it from someone on Vinted this year for 80 quid, so I don't think they realised what they had. So this is Blur, the greatest hits. There's another Blur album, but I'm not getting all of the albums by Blur, I just wanted the greatest hits. Likewise with Changes Bowie, David Bowie, again I got this off eBay for about 60. Being a fan of Garbage, I got the only album they've brought out on it, version 2.0. Love that indie band. A cassette Manic Street Preachers album with Motorcycle Emptiness and everything else on. Generation Terrorists, really cool to have that. I managed to get that for a good price, I think that was about 50. This I bought about a year ago and I got it for about £70. And it probably is worth more now, and it's Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory. That's my favourite album by them, so I'm not going to bother with the other albums, but you know, they are available, but again they're pricey. Bruce Springsteen, Greatest Hits, again that went crazy, I think that was about 60. And these last two are probably the cheapest ones to get. It's by Travis, A Man Who, and also The Invisible Band. was a big fan of Travis in the 90s. So yeah, that is my modest collection of mini discs really. Like I said, they are nice, they sit on the shelf, my machine plays them lovely, and you know, I occasionally play them, not often, just to keep the machine going more than anything else really. But to be perfectly honest, there's so many easier ways of playing them. I've got all these on CD as well as on half of these on vinyl anyway, and obviously digitally and CDs and stuff like that. So it's a nice little bit of retro music there. So yeah, mini disc collecting, that's for the hardcore people, and it's nice to have, I must admit, but I'm not going to go any deeper in that rabbit hole because it's just crazy the prices some of those albums go for. Okay, we've done the music, let's do some games, shall we? So we've got some retro to show you. So what have I got? Well, I bought this about 3 months ago before Sony made their announcement, and before people started buying up a lot of PS3 games. There's still a hell of a lot of PS3 games at cheap prices, but obviously the rare ones are going up in price. I'm not sure what this one goes for now, but I got this 3 months ago for £55 delivered and off eBay, and it is the Climax box set edition of Bayonetta. So I've been wanting this for a long time. It's got because an art book and CD soundtrack. So yeah, very nice to have. I got this cheap. It's not particularly. I don't think it's a particularly great game, but I saw this. I beaten up a copy of this in CEX a few weeks back, and I thought, oh, I might get myself a copy of that. But I got one off eBay for the same price and better condition, and that is High Octane. You can get this on the PS1 as well. Trouble is with the PS1 version, it comes with those sort of funny cases. It does, or ones with little plastic surrounds. So, and to find one that isn't cracked on eBay is quite difficult because they all got cracks, and so you can't just easily swap it out unless you've got one of those uncommon cases. So I think I might just stick to the Saturn version, not bother getting that PS1 version because it's just going to be a pain in the arse to get. And I don't want to pay 30 quid for that game on the PS1 just to get one in a good case. Right. Okay, games. What other games we've got? I don't think I've got any Switch ones. I think they're all PS4 to show you that this month. I do have quite a lot of PS5, and I may have 1 or 2 Switch ones in, but I'll save it for next month. So what we got? Got this second-hand Minecraft Legends Deluxe Edition. So again, just mopping up my last ones on my wish list for PS4. I think it's about 50 games left I want to get on the PS4, then I'm finished on that system. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, that's all sealed. We've got Transformers Galactic Trials, again this was quite cheap, new. It's about 4 or 5 games on the Transformers games on the PS4. I saw this on the PS5 in CEX this week, and it looked really interesting. So I looked online and I managed to get the PS4 version for only $9.99 delivered, and it's a day one with an art book and stuff. It's called Mato Anomalies. It's like a RPG with graphic book elements that's done in the comic book style. But it looked really interesting. So it's about detective investigating strange things going on in the city. It's sort of post-war look at aesthetics, but there's like demons and things. So it looked interesting. For a tenner, I thought, yeah, I'll go for that. We have here again. This is an import, but it's all in English. It's Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus Maxi Boost On. I got that from PlayAsia. Again, this game was cheap, new and sealed. Adam Wolf, a bit of a horror one. This one's a bit of a good shooter. Forgive Me, Father. Samurai Warriors 5. I don't collect all the Dynasty Warriors games. I do the spin-off Samurai Warriors. I do collect all across all the systems. Dirt 5 is, apparently out of the Dirt series games, this is really good, and to get the PS4 one copy, it's actually, I think it's more expensive than PS5, so again, I'm happy to have that. Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core Reunion, new and sealed. This was cheapest chips. DreamWorks Troll Hunters Defenders of Arcadia. A lot of these DreamWorks games are actually good fun, actually. I've got the first one. This is the second. Tomb Raider Remastered 4, 5 and 6. I know you can get that on PS5, but I've opted for a PS4 version. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. Again, that was quite cheap. This looks like an interesting game. It's called Gory Cuddly Carnage. It's about a street dude stroke cat in a sort of animal-based world, and you ride a skateboard, and I think it's got like a bit of a RPG fighting type elements within it. It looked alright. It was cheap. Okay, on the Persona series, we've got Persona 3 Reload, Far Cry 3, the Classic Edition, so this has got all the DLC on, so that's a good best way of getting that game. Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. This has got the extras, it's got the exclusive art book and soundtrack in the box. They actually had this in stock in CX for 15 quid in very good condition, which is really good because people ask a lot more of that online. I'll show that later. Another one I got from CX because it was in stock and it was cheaper than getting it from Vinted. People want 40 quid for this on Vinted. It's the Nonary Games. What's the series it's from? It's like a sort of escape series. It is. I can't remember now, but this has got both original games on. What is it called? I can't remember the life of me now. I can't remember what they're called now. But these games were originally on the 3DS and in PS Vita and so forth, so to get this collection is really good. So again, that wasn't too much. I think that's about 25 of CX. This game looked interesting. It was Clear River Games Redemption Reapers. It's sort of an interesting RPG. Sonic Racing Crossroads. And I've got some Call of Duty games which I managed to get the steel books with. I managed to get the games all sealed. They got the vouchers for the PS5 upgrades, and I managed to get these all quite cheap, the games, and I actually got the steel books of Vinted for under a tenner each, and I got the games for about between 10 and 12 pounds each. So for 22 quid I've got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 new and sealed with a PS5 upgrade code plus the steel book, and I think that's pretty good. Likewise, I've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and also Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So I've got these cross-generation bundles with all new and sealed. So I'm so behind on playing the Call of Duty games. I loved them in a day, but I've just been so distracted with other games. I will get to them one day. I actually did have in the bag 3 Switch and 1 Xbox game. So I've got Forza Horizon 5. I got that really good deal. I think that's about 15 quid off eBay. On the Switch, I've got this lot of really cute bullet hell game, Bounty Sisters. This game is a really good. It's a bit of a shooter, but with zombies. So it's more like a run and gun type of shooter, top down, I think. It's called Doom Sweeper Rapid Fire Edition. So this is highly rated by a lot of people. I got this from Asia, I think. That for a good price. And last but not least, an import on the Switch. There was a Namco compilation on the Switch, which has different games to the Japanese version. So the Japanese version here, we've got Namco Collection, and it's got a few exclusive games like on the Famicom. You can see on the bottom from Splatterhouse, One of Peiko. What's the title? One of Peiko something. I've got the game on. I've got the original Famicom version of that, but to get a modern version on the Switch for that game, it's cool. And this is all like on the cart, so another import to get. Not too expensive. I think it's about £25 you can get these imported for. So don't miss out on this one, guys. It's called the Namco Collection. Okay, that's a good import if you like your unusual Namco games. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all doing well. And until next time, take care. Bye.